Hey folks, welcome back. My name is Krishna. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I thought I'd do something a little bit different than a tutorial, just to see what your reaction might be. But there have been a few people that have asked to look at my portfolio book, and I thought I'd maybe talk a little bit about why I do this and why it's important for me to do this every year. So I've been making a portfolio book since 2013. And this was my very first portfolio book. You can see here. I have been using a company called Blurb, B-L-U-R-B, for my portfolio books. And you can see an example of some of the pieces that I've created. These books are just printed on a high quality paper, but you can see that the books themselves have, you can't lay the book flat. But this is where I started when I was, just trying to capture a snapshot of my best pieces for 2013. And I can look back at these tangible pieces and see where I have come from and what my inspirations were and what my techniques might have been. I used to do a lot of digital painting, background painting. I've kind of moved away from that, not 100%, but I don't do it as often nowadays. But it's something that I did quite a bit back then, and I just wanted to go ahead and keep a snapshot of my work. So this is where I was at in 2013. I designed all the covers, the front and the back covers, and you can see here I've got a huge pile of other books. This doesn't represent the entire collection. I have some here at home and some at work for my students to look at periodically, but I've been making these for quite some time. And then I think about maybe 2 or 3 years ago, I decided to go in with a lay flat book. So lay flat book, basically, as its term suggests, you can put the pages down 100% flat and you can see the entire thing. There's no bubble or crease. So this is my 2023 book that I made at the beginning or at the end of December of 2023. And what I do is I typically, throughout the course of a year, I'll make between 300 to 400 pieces. I'll spend an entire day looking through and curating what I think are my favorite pieces that I was proud of. And I put them together, and I actually do the whole layout, everything. I send the files off to Blurb, and they print the book, and within a couple of weeks, I get the book back. So this is just a smattering of some of the books that I've created. And you might ask, well, why do you make these books? Well, there's a couple of reasons. If I do happen to meet with a client locally, having a book on hand allows that client to look at my work in a distraction-free environment. There's also something tangible and something just real about flipping through a book. And I've seen on more than one occasion where a client is looking through my work and they're just kind of excited, and they're the light bulb starts to turn on. Like, I'm just not just creating things that are digital that just kind of disappear on someone's social media feed, but you're able to see the work on its own without any type of distraction. And that's one reason why I do it. Second reason is, like I mentioned before, I like to chronicle my work over a period of time. So I've been doing this now for 11 years. Every December, I will go through the collection of digital files and I will pick out a few pieces, 40 or so, that represent where I'm at. And I do this just to chronicle my growth as an artist. And over a period of time, maybe there'll be a point in my life where I may not be able to draw or even use the computer, but at least I'll have the books to look at. It's a printed version of my legacy that will just kind of chronicle, my time as an artist. And just like music can be a time machine, I think this can also serve as a time machine to my own thoughts and where I was at a particular point in my life when I was making these illustrations. So I use a lay flat paper It's a thick, non-glossy paper. It's a hardback book. There's no dust jacket. Dust jackets, in my experience, tend to get damaged very easily. Lay flat books are nice because they can survive handling. Some people just don't know how to turn a page without bending it. I'm very reticent to let other people do that just because these books aren't cheap. The last portfolio book that I made through Blurb without any coupons was $160. I was able to get a 30% off coupon, and that shaved it to about $110, $120 with shipping and all. So it was actually not too bad. I don't make these books to sell. I don't give these books away. This is just for me. Another reason why I also like the idea of making a portfolio book is that there are points in time where I may feel less than inspired. I think as artists, we all go through this process where we feel that maybe we don't measure up in some way, or we feel defeated, we feel frustrated, and we just need something to kind of bring us back from the edge. And I think these portfolio books serve as a good reminder that I have created some work in the past and I will continue to create more work. And that's another reason why I like looking through this. It's sort of like a inspiration. It's like, okay, I've made things. Maybe some of these things I'm not, as excited about, but it is proof that I've done something, and it's also a reinforcement that I can do it again. And what makes it exciting every December when I work on these portfolio books, I'm able to go back through and just look at the work. Because sometimes we just create the work, we put it out on social media, and then we just move on with our lives. This gives me an opportunity to go back and reflect, to really think about what it is that I did, and allows me to just, take in the work a little bit as some time has passed. I can kind of look back at the work with fresh eyes. So do I recommend making a portfolio book? That's not for everybody, but if you happen to share the same idea that I do, where it's like you want to keep a chronicle of your work over a period of time, I think it's not a bad idea. It is not cheap, but then again, it's something that I feel is, it's meaningful for me. I enjoy it, and I like the process of actually assembling the work and being able to see the finished result. And I think a lot of times when we're working in a digital space, sometimes our work just doesn't feel as quote unquote real because there's just so many other digital media that's out there on the internet. But having a finished portfolio book is a tangible thing you can hold in your hand. You can say, yes, I made this. And there's a lot of satisfaction that I get from making these. So I hope you found this to be meaningful. This is a little bit of a different video, but I did want to share my thoughts on making portfolio books. I think it's a good choice if you want to carry on your work and you want to see how your work evolves over a period of decades, particularly if you're working in a digital art space. Not a bad idea to do at all. So thanks so much for watching the video. Next video, we'll get back to more tutorials. I hope you found some value in this, and have a great rest of your day, and see you next time.